Is this a great evening or what? This is Pennington County. Democrats don't win in Pennington County. And yet here we are all tonight. Right now in South Dakota, the reddest of the red states, we are 3 seats away from taking the South Dakota Senate. And one of the big reasons is a man right there, currently bent over to me, Mr. Tom Cadis. Tom Cadis came to the legislature for the first time last year, or in 2006, I'm sorry. And I tell you what, there is no one in South Dakota politics today that works harder for working families in South Dakota than Tom Cadis, and we need to get Tom Cadis back in the Senate. I want to talk to you a little bit tonight about my race, because I have the microphone and a name tag, so I probably should. One of the biggest challenges going around the state and talking to people is telling them what the Public Utilities Commission does. That surprised me. I didn't realize that people didn't understand what the Public Utilities Commission did day in and day out. But the fact of the matter is, for the past 6 to 8 years, the Public Utilities Commission in the state of South Dakota has done nothing. And that's why they've forgotten what the Public Utilities Commission did. I always kind of try to equate what we're trying to do on the Public Utilities Commission to gas prices. Because right now, as we all know, we're flirting with $4 a gallon gas. We don't know exactly where it's going to end. But if you could go back in time 4 or 5 years and tell people what $4 a gallon gas meant to people, would they have made a change then? I have a friend of mine in Sioux Falls who is having a child very soon. And he has a very nice F-150 pickup. He took the pickup to the dealership because he wanted to trade it in for a more family-friendly car. Something with, you know, Rugrats and balloons on it. I don't know how that works exactly. But he went and he test drove a couple cars. He looked around, and when it came time to make the deal, they didn't want to trade on his F-150 pickup. They didn't want to even talk about it. Because it's a gas guzzler, and nobody's buying those these days. The fact of the matter is, folks, is that we are in the position right now with our energy policy that gas prices were 5 years ago. We need to make a change. We need to turn this boat around to make sure that in 10 years, we've got the energy that we need to power not only South Dakota, but all of America. You know, I'm a big proponent of wind power. It disturbs me very much that in South Dakota, we don't have the wind energy generation that they have in other states. Living in Sioux Falls, I know that right across the border in Minnesota, they've got wind farms for as far as the eye can see. But we don't have that in South Dakota. We are the 4th windiest state in the United States, and we are 26th in production, and that is unacceptable. And the reason that that is the way it is because we have had a legislature, we have had a governor administration, and we have had a Public Utilities Commission that has allowed that to happen. I want to take you back just a little bit to the 1970s. There's going to be no music involved with this, but go with it. In the 1970s, farmers got a hold of center pivot irrigation. Landmark in our agricultural history. And what happened was that required a great deal more energy to run these things. So energy companies built a lot of plants. And as it turns out, they built too many at the time. So what happened is that the legislature created the way that they can charge for rates in a way that actually creates an incentive to use more energy. So if you buy your first block of energy at, let's say, 10 cents, your second block of energy is 6 cents. Your third block is 4 cents. We have a system in place from the 1970s that creates an incentive to use more energy and not less. That's wrong. That needs to be changed. We need new leadership on the Public Utilities Commission. There you go. Well, we need to cut the roof to put a wind turbine in here, but we'll do it. But wind is not the end of the story. If I'm elected to Public Utilities Commission, my first goal is to work with the legislature, to work with the next governor, which is going to be a Democrat in 2010, to power up South Dakota. In 10 years, we need to make sure that South Dakota is creating wind energy at its capacity in South Dakota. We need to make sure that we are on the cutting edge of renewable industries in this state. One need only look at our ethanol industry in South Dakota to understand what this could mean. All right? Because we put up wind energy, we put up turbines all across this state. It's not just a matter of putting up the turbines. Someone is going to have to repair those turbines. Someone is going to have to manage those turbines. And someone is going to have to manufacture those turbines. And that can all be right here in South Dakota. It can be a new economy for South Dakota. You know, I've had the opportunity to debate my opponent a couple times already. And if you're not doing anything on October 16th around 7 p.m., we'll be debating on South Dakota Public Broadcasting. But one of the last things that my opponent said that struck me was that he's very good about talking about how bipartisan the Public Utilities Commission is. Which is easy to say when your party controls everything in period. But currently, right now, we've got 3 members of the Public Utilities Commission. We've got my opponent, Dusty Johnson, a Republican, and Steve Kolbeck, a Democrat. And he referred to Steve Kolbeck as the token Democrat. Next year, Dusty Johnson will be the token Republican. You know, tonight we've seen a lot of great people come up here tonight. And I want to tell you right now that all across the state, everywhere I go, whether it's Sioux Falls, Vermilion, Aberdeen, Mitchell, Huron,